All right. Here we go, folks. Game 1 coming up here. Asylum and Puppin Suds. I'm sorry, I know our cameras are a little wonky. We'll get them fixed as soon as we can. Breakout here. Pretty standard, though. Puppin Suds did get straight into Dorito 1, which is a pretty big lane. They got right through. Getting into D2 now. As Asylum going to lose their Snake Runner on his secondary bump. Asylum, though, also in Dorito 2. And in the brick up the middle. We've been calling that solo. Little battle developing here. Down the tape, you can see both Dorito 2s. Ref running in to check the snake corner for Asylum. Clean. Oh, and the player for Puppin Suds here just barely missing the bump from Asylum. Now into D3 as Puppin Suds loses a body off the D side. And there's the run through here. Gonna trade out. Camera fixed up here. As we have, I think, a 2-on-1. Just this brick. There he goes. Actually get the tag. On the field, James Gang home, West Coast Sharks away. On deck, NSC and Northwest Shooters. In the hole, James Gang and Asylum. All right. Getting lined up here now. Hey, David, can you hear us now? Let me know. Sorry, I just saw your chat. Alrighty. Pretty set now. Pretty foggy this morning. Just waiting on the last James Gang player. Get on the field. Here we go on your breakout. James Gang versus the West Coast Sharks. Pretty standard, both sides here. Gonna see a lot of this pocket play as James Gang gonna lose one off of the snake side first. This layout has pretty big lanes. Potentially another one there walking off for James Gang. Yeah, it looks like for James Gang now, just the Dorito side temple, snake side can, and this Dorito side stand-up wedge. Going back to all the cams here. I'm sorry, we'll try to fix the way our 50 camera, or our big camera is leaning, but right now, doing the best we can this morning. So yeah, so far, pretty much as expected, although West Coast Sharks now going to hit the snake up 2 bodies. Played this layout last weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and it is definitely has the potential at least to be a slower field. You can lock down the wide moves. Oh, James Gang going to get one back here off the D side. This Dorito one here going to bump up to D2 now. I was saying that you can lock down the Dorito side moves, or at least trying to get wide on the Dorito side from that brick. But now you can see James Gang up here in Dorito 3. By being down 2 bodies early, they've evened the count back up. And there's now Snake Corner and Snake 1. And the Snake Corner gonna drop here. The West Coast Sharks, unfortunately, squandering an early advantage, as now James Gang gonna walk it down the D side, nowhere for the Snake to go. And I think that is gonna do it here. Yeah, so James Gang able to fight back there after a rough start. All right. Like teams pretty set here. NSC and the Northwest Shooters coming up. Let me know, by the way, folks, if you're getting the field audio also. Don't think that's coming through right now. Yeah, it's good. Thank you. There we go. Should have some field audio now. So once again, pretty heavy pocket from both teams. Northwest shooters gonna be the first to drop a body here. You can see it's a big old back bunker. Shooters losing another one off this Dorito side. This is absolutely a field where your gunfighting skills are gonna be tested constantly. NSC now flooding down the field as they are up, I think, 3 bodies. Looking at, I think, yeah, just the Snake Gateway and the Snake Can. And the Gateway now gonna get run down. And that's gonna do it. So some pretty good control here from NSC. See Brad tagging in there. Shout out to Brad, who runs MacGyver for Hire gutter services. If you need your gutters clean, you need new gutters put up, anything going on with your gutters, please hit up MacGyver for Hire. Also sponsoring the move of the event for both D4 and D5. On the field, Ilum on deck, best shoot, home, up inside the hole, NSC, best coach. Alrighty, James Gang and Asylum coming back out here. As I was saying before, pretty commonly just seeing teams playing the pocket here, meaning they're shooting from the back center, maybe going up to the Dallas or the God, which is that can on the Snake side, and otherwise just going heavy guns up and usually going up to the brick, though you can definitely shoot that brick runner if you're looking for it.
Seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Alrighty, here we go. Breakout coming up. James Gang on your left. Asylum on the right. Pretty standard pocket play here. As we've been discussing, back center just had to dodge one for Asylum. Like he's staying in. James Gang gonna be losing their their Snake side wide body out of that can. You can see pretty much mirrored up here in the back center. Dorito side stand-up wedge. That big brick at the 40. Asylum now gonna get out to the God. That Snake side can. And this is the scenario where your gunfighting skills really gotta check in. These are big gaps if you want to try to get out wide. James Gang gonna make the move here to the Dallas. Asylum gonna match him up. But with that brick looking Dorito side, oh, it's a big gap to run through, and James Gang ran through it and made it clean. Now in Dorito 1. What we were doing last weekend is we had the guy in the brick looking Dorito side and just essentially no other guns looking D side, and just let them try to get out wide and set a trap. But James Gang ran through that lane. No problem at all. Here comes the matchup from Asylum. Ref checking him out, though. Like he's clean as James Gang, though, loses their Dorito one, and they're going to fill all the way from that middle wedge. It makes it in clean. I think there were at least 2 guns looking that way. He made it through. It's a pretty big gap, as now Asylum, they are going to get a shot in on him, though, as he was wrapping. And there goes another body out of the brick. The James Gang, unfortunately, just dying out of their spots right now, as Asylum now flooding down the field. They do lose a body out of the snake, I think. Now just the snake corner left alive there on the top left of your screen. You can see all the Asylum players coming to see him. And they are going to get the run through and be able to walk this in. Sorry, it's pretty foggy this morning. We'll get this camera wiped off as soon as we can.
Game finished. On the field, Northwest Shooters home, Puppin says away. On deck, NSC and West Coast Sharks. In the hood, James Gang and Puppin says. Seconds. 20 seconds.
J-Strick, is it like me talking is faint or just the field audio is faint?
10 seconds.
Breakout coming up here. Shooters on your left. Puppin Suds on the right. Puppin Suds look like some of the guys from Rain City Ballers, maybe. Both teams pretty safe in the pocket here. Right as I say that, though, actually, Shooter's gonna get the D-side wedge from Puppin Suds, and they're now in Dorito 3. Putting a ton of pressure on this back center right now. Puppin Suds is in D1. Okay, awesome. Thank you, J-Strick. D2 here now for Puppin Suds. Battling back a little bit. Not expecting a whole lot of snake play today. The snake's not particularly strong, as the back center and the Dorito side getting peeled off here for Puppin Suds. With all these big bunkers in the backfield, yeah, unfortunately the snake not the best. Another body gonna come off here for Puppin Suds, as they are down, I think, to none. Yep. Alright, Shooter's gonna be able to run this one in here now. This definitely also happened a lot when I was playing the layout over last weekend. With all those big bunkers in the back, it is hard to see people walk off the field. So keeping the count is challenging.
Close.
Ready, point is good for the shooters. Alrighty, coming up here, NSC and the West Coast Sharks.
On the field, NSC home. West Coast Sharks away. On deck, James Gang and Puffin Suds. In the hole, West Coast Sharks and shooters. Seconds.
Alrighty. Also, always keeping an eye out for move of the event, both for D4 and D5. It's a $100 prize, sponsored by MacGyver for Hire Gutter Services. You need new gutters, if you need gutter covers, if you need gutter cleaning, gutter repair, hit up our guy Brad at MacGyver for Hire. They'll get you taken care of. Here we go on the breakout. NSC gonna get one off the Dallas. They're gonna lose with their body going to the God, though. They're gonna fill out pretty quickly here. Oh, and Brad with a... I thought that was gonna be a slide and run, but I think he actually... Let's see. Nope, he made it in clean. Alright, getting into Doritos now. Hard to control the Doritos without having a body up in that brick, or at least hard to control the move into the Doritos. What we found playing layout last weekend is if you have this Dorito side stand-up wedge looking snake side and you have the brick looking Dorito side, you can essentially lock them out of moving wide as long as you don't miss your shot. But now both teams in the Doritos. The MacGyver for Hire himself, Brad, in D2, as they're gonna... I thought he was running off, but West Coast Sharks gonna fill out to the Dallas now as well. And expect this Dorito side to be where the games are kind of won or lost here. As I said earlier, the snake side, unfortunately, not very strong with all these huge back bunkers. People certainly playing it, though. West Coast Sharks are at the 50 snake. And they're going to trade out. Now the Dorito going to lose his gun battle down the tape. Got another body in the Doritos behind him. So it is Snake Corner, Dorito 1 here for the West Coast Sharks. NSC is in also Snake Corner and Dorito 2. I don't see anybody else right now for either side, so we're going to call this a 2-on-2 for the moment. Coming up on 2 minutes of game time left. Beerhead with the sneaky move inside to the W, gonna try to get the drop on this Dorito. Crossing all the way over. Slow and steady to this mini pin. Oh, it gets clipped though, doesn't get a shot. And now it is just, I think, one body left for NSC in the Snake Corner. And he's gonna try to make a move down. Gets a trade. I think that was Jack. Yeah, gets a trade with the Dorito. Wants a flag from the refs. Not gonna get it. And that's gonna leave one body left here for the Sharks. Gonna clear this out here. Little foggy view here, and we are good.
Game finished.
The field, James Gang home, Pup and Suds away. On deck, West Coast Sharks 4 versus Northwest Shooters. In the hole, NSC Asylum.
Seconds. 20 seconds.
Alrighty, breakout coming up here. James Gang and Pup and Suds. Here we go. Pup and Suds gonna go straight for that D1. James Gang gonna match him on a little bit of a delay running. Ref though gonna pull the Dorito for Pup and Suds, and James Gang didn't make it in clean either. What I'm talking about here, these big old lanes. Oh, is unfortunately Pup and Suds trying to get out to the Dallas. Gets caught. And James Gang gonna lose their body trying to get into the gateway. Now James Gang gonna slide into this mini Aztec on this Dorito side. And they have a body in that 40 brick. He's looking around for something. Not much for him right now. I think already just looking at the back center only for Pup and Suds. And that's a big old bunker, but it's hard to defend. He does get this Dorito side attacker though. And now just the 40, nope, he's gonna be gone as well. Wow. Just getting diced up here by this back center. And I think James Gang just has a body in the snake. And they ref, yeah, and he did get a surprise shot in on him. My goodness. Some chaos in that point, and James Gang gonna be able to come out with it. One alive. Pure chaos there. Hopefully you could kind of follow along on the view we had. James Gang gonna take that one down. On the field.
West Coast Sharks home, Northwest Shooters away. On deck, NSC Asylum. In the hole, West Coast Sharks, Pup and Suds.
Shout out to our hero Ikato here. Cleaning off this morning fog.
seconds.
Alrighty, coming up here. West Coast Sharks, Northwest Shooters.
20 seconds.
Expecting a pretty standard.
10 seconds.
And here we go on the breakout. Shooters going straight into D1. Challenging those guns from the Sharks, and they made it in clean. Into D2 now. Wrapping around the outside, you can see on the bottom right of your screen, he did lose a body on his snake side, though. Gonna come around the outside into Dorito 3. And there goes the first body coming off the Dallas. Back center gonna peel off as well. There goes the wedge, and this is a slaughter now for the Northwest Shooters. They are just looking at the God and the Dorito corner. I think he might have let him in. Oh, he got the running shot on the D1. That was, or excuse me, the Dorito, their Dorito 3. Great shot there from the West Coast Sharks. Gonna try to pull this one back right now. As unfortunately, the shooters were across the 50 on the Dorito side, but did not move up behind him very far. And now they lost a body trying to get into the brick down the middle. A little too impetuous here. And all of a sudden, the Sharks are back in this game. Sharks have the back center. And I think he's still in the snake corner. I can't see him right now. And maybe not. As now they're going to move out to the God. I don't love that move. Yeah, and he's going to get clipped. Okay, so I think the Dorito corner did take a walk a little earlier there. The valiant defense there from the Sharks after getting chopped up D side. And Northwest Shooter is going to be able to bring this one in. Field, NSC home, Asylum away. In the hole, West Coast Sharks, Puppin Suds. On deck, Asylum, Northwest Shooters. Alrighty, moving right along here. Game's not running quite as slow as I was expecting. I'm happy about. We have I think 32 teams. Have to double check, but I think 32 between D4 and D5. And this time of year, only about 12 hours of sunlight. Have to hope to get through pretty quickly. Breakout coming up here, NSC on your left, Asylum on the right. Both teams going pretty much in the pocket. Asylum tried to get up to the brick, got caught. A 5-on-4 right now in favor of NSC. Asylum going to try to fill out to the Dallas, gets caught, and they're going to lose the back center. They're absolutely getting chopped up here, as now NSC going to get into the snake and do a little bit of a double bump here into D1. He did not make it. Got shot, I think, crossfield from the gateway, but now flooding down the field. They're going to shoot the gateway and get a trade in, it looks like. Still the wedge alive. Nope, there goes the wedge. Gets shot from the snake. And that's going to do her here. NSC going to have 3 alive. Once again, pretty chaotic points here, as it is really hard to see when people are walking off the field with all these big bunkers in the back. Ref giving him a check here. And we're good. All right, NSC gonna take that one. One of the faster points today. Alrighty, coming up here on the field, West Coast Sharks. Home, Puppin Suds away. On deck, Asylum, Northwest Shooters in the hole, NSC, James Gang. Alrighty, West Coast Sharks here, Puppin Suds. The sun is burning through this fog now. See a little bit of a change here probably in strategies. Here we go. Tripling up the back bunker here for West Coast Sharks. Actually, is that? Yeah, I think that's 3. Yeah. And they're gonna bump out Snake side, as Puppin Sud's actually gonna lose, I think, 2 bodies out of their backfield here, so triple guns up, putting in some work here, as now we're gonna split out of the back center into the Doritos and up the middle. They're crossing the Snake 50 now, as another body gonna walk off from, I think, the back center, and there goes the wedge for Puppin Suds. I think that's gonna do it here. They just try to figure out what's going on here. Better view here. That start station. Thorough. Uh-oh. Ref conference here for the flag hang. Point is approved. The West Coast gonna get that one in. No point? Okay. Alright, so it's actually a dirty hang and a no point there.
On the field, Asylum, Northwest Shooters in the hole, NSC, James Gang on deck, Pup and Suds, Asylum. Seconds. 10 seconds.
Here we go, Asylum, Northwest Shooters. Ref here checking out a Northwest Shooter's body, and the god looks like he's clean still. You can see the sun absolutely banging right now. Asylum gonna lose one out of the back center. Gonna be extra hard to manage that back center now. Alright, slowing down here. Asylum is up here in this 40 wedge. Or excuse me, 40 brick. Shooters, though, just lost one out of the backfield, I think. Both teams in the D-side wedge. Both teams in Dorito 1. Now just gotta count on your teammates to pick good gunfights. Shooter's gonna get into the snake. I think another body just walked off for Asylum. Didn't see where from though. Looks like it might be, yeah, it might have been the Doritos. And here comes the last few bodies walking off as they are trotting down this D side. Shooter's gonna tag this one up here.
Point approved. Game finished. On the field, NSC, home, James Gang away.
On deck, up in Isla. Oh, West Coast Parks. Alrighty, almost done with the first set of prelims here. This is the last game. Moving at a pretty good pace. As always, got to give a shout out to the move of the event sponsor, MacGyver for Hire Gutter Services. You need new gutters, you need gutter repairs, gutter cleaning. Hit up our guy Brad, get you taken care of. Check out his Instagram for MacGyver for Hire. You want to see some beautiful gutter work. As always, keeping an eye out for move of the event up here. $100 prize, both for D4 and D5. Alright, here we go. NSC on your left. James Gang on the right. NSC was definitely shooting for the brick runner. James Gang got 2 bodies into the brick. James Gang gonna lose one on the brick. Not out of the brick though, as they did also get into the mini W. They're gonna lose, I think, another body out of the backfield here though. They are in the 40 brick. And that mini W up on the snake side, you can see him kind of in the upper middle of your screen. NSC now going to get to the gateway on the snake side. They're also in Dorito 2 and on the brick up the middle. James Gang down 2 bodies right here. Going to bump out snake side. NSC losing one out of the backfield. They're now going to get up to the the mini W. Going to shoot James Gang out of their mini W. All the bodies here for James Gang on the snake side. This brick, though, is looking D side. Trying to slow down this attack here from NSC. And brick turns off and lets him into Dorito 3 here now. Gonna make it really hard to live in that can on the snake side, what we call the God. You can see here on full screen, bit of a battle developing, although James Gang gonna lose their body out of the God now, so it is just the brick here. And there goes the run across the 50 from the Doritos. And NSC gonna be able to tag this one up, I think 4 alive here. Alrighty, yep, point approved here for NSC.
On the field, Pumpkin says, home, asylum away. On deck, West Coast Sharks, James Gang. In the hole, Northwest Shooters, NSC.
Alrighty, coming up on our game 2s now. Have Asylum on your left. These guys lined up wrong. Should be Asylum on your left. Oh no, sorry. The scoreboard is wrong. They lined up correct. Pup and Suds on your left, Asylum on your right. I'm gonna lose one off the snake side. Both teams still doubled up in the back center. Pup and Suds now gonna get into D1 and the Dallas behind him. Asylum unfortunately gonna lose another body out of the back center here. Gonna shoot one of the Dorito players though for Asylum, for Pup and Suds. Pup and Suds still in D1 though. The God here getting checked out for Asylum. Another body gonna walk off this D side for Pup and Suds, unfortunately making it into these good spots but then unable to stay alive. Dorito corner putting in some work here. Now gonna slide into D2. It's a great shot on the 40 brick. And now I think it is just the snake corner left for Pup and Suds. But now just waiting on this snake corner. Gonna get shot. There he goes.
Game finished. That was just to fix the scoreboard. It was not an actual reverse point. The point for Asylum there.
That's Coach Park's home. James Gang, okay, on deck. Northwest shoot in the hole. Asylum and James Gang. Alrighty, moving right along here. Alrighty, here we go, game 2. James Gang got the first gang off of the Sharks here. James Gang gonna get up into the brick. Sharks going with the triple back center once again. And now gonna filter out to this Dorito side wedge, as well as Dorito 1 for James Gang. Sharks unfortunately not gonna make it into the brick on their side. Gonna get shot crossfield from that Dorito 1 is waiting for him. You can see a little bit of what I was talking about here as the James Gang brick is able to just shut down the move out wide on the Dorito side, although they do try to get into this mini Aztec and get caught. Still the Dallas, and now the Snake Gateway and Snake Corner for West Coast Sharks. James Gang and Dorito 1. The 40 brick. Yeah, I think just James Gang also and the God. Okay, so 3 bodies there for James Gang. Game slowing way down here now. Shark's gonna get into the snake here now. Got through the gun from the Dorito. Gonna get into D2. All of these guns now looking snake side for James Gang. There's an opportunity. There we go, West Coast Sharks. Gonna get into D1 here now. Be able to put some pressure on that God. If he wants. Now gonna have to battle down the tape. Oh, and he got him. He was waiting for his shot. He shoots that Dorito 3. James Gang is in Snake 2 here. Oh God, they had a sneaky snake over there. Did not see. So 3 bodies still here for James Gang. They're in the God, the 40 brick, and Snake. West Coast Sharks are in Snake Corner, Snake, and D1 right now. This Dorito player really has the opportunity here to check in as only the Snake is looking D side. I don't think he can see him until he gets up to Snake 3 because of that brick. And now the God has switched Snake side, or excuse me, D side. About 90 seconds left on the clock here. Both teams all of a sudden content to just hang out. I'm gonna have to make a move here pretty soon. One minute remaining now. West Coast Sharks actually going to get out of the Snake corner, come back over to the God. Now go up the middle to the brick. Oh, and here finally goes the Dorito for the Sharks. Gonna come in. I don't think he shot. Gonna get traded. Shenanigans here at the end. Coming up on 20 seconds remaining. Longest point of the day. Shark's gonna be extra careful here for tagging up. And approved. Alright, so quite a lot of chaos there. But the Sharks gonna even it up with the James Gang.
On the field, Northwest Shooters home, NFC away, on deck, Asylum, James Gang. In the hole, Pup and Suds, Northwest Shooters.
on the field now, and yeah. Doesn't.
So Northwest
shoot.
Shooters home, NSC away.
Yeah, so.
Alright, once again on the field, Northwest Shooters home, NSC away. On deck, Asylum, James Gang. In the hole, Puppin Suds, Northwest Shooters. Seconds.
All right. On the field here, going to be once again Northwest Shooters and NSC. NSC undefeated so far in these prelims. Here we go. Shooter's gonna try to get one out to the Dorito. It's a really big lane to run through. And he did not make it. Why kind of talking about these pocket plays on these breakouts. A lot of teams just going to like the Dallas and the snake side can. Maybe coming up to the wedge, maybe trying to get into the brick up the middle. But getting any wider than that is pretty tough. You're running through a lane, at least one gun on both sides. NSC now in the gateway. Five on four here right now in favor of NSC. Now they're gonna fill the gateway behind their snake body. Gonna lose their Dallas player though. 4 on 4 right now, by my count. Trying to look in the backfield here for the shooters. They're in the back center. Dorito side wedge. Not sure where their other bodies are currently. So again, Northwest Shooters here. At least 2 bodies. Gonna bump out here now to the Dallas. Oh no, sorry. There's the rest of them. They're pretty deep shadows over here right now, so they do actually have Dorito corner, or excuse me, Snake corner. And I think maybe Snake gateway. Yep, now in the Snake. I think they might have lost their wedge body though. Gonna lose their Dallas now as well, so now just down to 2 bodies. Snake corner and the Snake 1. I guess we call that Snake 2 actually, sorry. Really tough, unfortunately, to protect the Snake. See the highway move. Largely unstoppable there, as tried to get up over the beam. And that's gonna do it. Jeff gonna come down here, this Dorito side, shoot the last body. See, all of a sudden, we're having a sunny day. We got AJ Abrams-esque lens flare going, everything. SC be able to walk this one in.
Close. On the field, Asylum home, James Gang away. On deck, Poppin' Suds, Northwest Shooters. In the home, West Coast Sharks, NFC.
Alrighty, coming up here, Asylum and James Gang. Asylum up 1-0.
10 seconds.
Asylum on your left, on the purple side, James Gang on the gold side. Asylum sending these bodies into the Doritos, making it work. Been saying it's a big gap to run through. Expect some of these teams to start putting two guns that way, as James Gang gonna lose their wedge on this Dorito side. Been calling that the money. You usually want the money to be looking snake side. You can shut down the whole gap past the gateway. But with the body in D2 here now, for Asylum, they're gonna maybe have to change that up. He's rapping with impunity right now, putting pressure on this wedge and the snake side can we call the god. Things kind of slowed down here. Asylum up in the 40 brick. Dorito 2. Eastside wedge. And snake corner. James Gang is also in the brick and the wedge. Now they're gonna... Those are running ref as a huge move up the middle here. Gonna clear out the brick from James Gang. Asylum gonna get caught coming down the tape on the D side after that, just a little too late on the bump, and gets caught, I think, by this D side wedge. Make 2 here for Asylum. Got another body behind him in the gateway. They're also in the 40 brick. I'm gonna bump out, excuse me, James Gang gonna bump out to D1. Didn't make it. Asylum now doubling up the 40 brick. Make corner pretty much, I think, all that is left here for James Gang. Tough spot to hold. Better angle. Can't see it. But that's gonna do it. Asylum gonna tag this one up. And point is approved.
Point approved. Game finished.
On the field, Northwest Shooters home, Puppin Suds away. Or wait, excuse me. Puppin Suds home, Northwest Shooters away. Sorry, Puppin Suds home, Northwest Shooters away. On deck, West Coast Sharks NSC. In the hole, Puppin Suds James Gang. Alright, gonna be Puppin Suds on your left, Shooters on your right.
20 seconds. Seconds.
Alrighty. Ref checking out the Dorito here. It's not clean. Out of there. Puppin Sud's gonna fill in the Dallas behind him. Really surprised so many teams are sending bodies straight into the Doritos still. It is a dangerous, dangerous run. Especially if you're running straight in. You could try to be kind of tricksy and do something like go up to the mini Aztec and bump over. Comes the bump out of the Dallas for Puppin Suds. Gonna get caught as well. Northwest Shooters so far able to just chop up these wide moves. Puppin Suds now in the back center. The God, which is the can on the snake side. And I think the gateway. Yeah, the gateway. Gonna fill out from the God over to the snake corner. Like that move. Gonna be able to wrap. As long as the opposing snake corner is not on the inside. Northwest Shooters are in the back center as well as the snake corner and this Dorito side stand-up wedge. And snake 2. Now the snake gonna be hot. Or Puppin Suds gonna get into snake 1, probably straight into snake 2. Has a body behind him in the corner. So far, haven't seen a lot of teams cross over to the 50. And now the corner for Puppin Sud's gonna fill into snake 1 behind his snake 2. I'm not sure I love that. Gonna get shot from somewhere. Didn't even see where from. Looks like it was on the move. So now both snake 1s mirrored up. Dallas for Northwest Shooters. Now D1. Just the God and snake 2 here, I think, for Puppin Suds. Now just walking down this D side. Oh, Snake missed his opportunity here to get a shot in on this D side. Now he's gonna cross. Yeah, he was looking down the tape, unfortunately, the whole time. Good turn. I'm not sure if he got shot yet. There he goes. Really just impossible spot to live in. A little too concerned about his tape, though. Shooter's gonna be able to tag this one up here. Point is approved.
Point approved. Game finished.
Ready. On the field, West Coast home, NSC away. On deck, Puppin Suds and James Gang. In the hole, Northwest Shooters
and West Coast Sharks.
Alright, coming up here, Sharks and NSC. Actually, West Coast Sharks did get game 1 over NSC, so thought NSC was undefeated in the prelims so far. Is incorrect. Pretty standard breakout here. NSC does get up to the brick. West Coast gonna fill out to the snake corner, gonna make it clean. Now West Coast gonna come up to the brick as well, mirrored up there. NSC still doubled up in the back center. Plenty of room there to stay for a while, but your view does get pretty limited up the middle. Such a big bunker. So NSC and doubled up the back center. Snake side can, Dorito side stand-up wedge, and the 40 brick. West Coast Sharks are in the back center. The brick, oh, they just killed the god for NSC. West Coast is also in the snake corner and now gonna hit snake 1 through that wedge, down on the wedge on NSC. Like he made it in clean. Now big bite out here to Dorito 1. Like he made it in clean for NSC. I think with that mini W over there, you can't really see into the snake. Not 100% there. Maybe you can wrap it. So right now he's wrapping on the Dallas. Gonna bump up here to Dorito 2. NSC is also in the snake gateway now. Comes a big bite out to the Dorito corner. I think he got picked up. No, did not get. I think even got shot at there by NSC. West Coast Sharks gonna have both corners here now, well as the Dallas, that D-side Aztec, and Snake 2. Yep, still in Snake 2, and then the center brick. Really kind of the snake side brick. We Snake 50 now, gonna dive across that gap. See what Snake 50 is gonna be able to do here is ref checking out the gateway. Nothing on him. I think with the pins and that center brick, I don't know if the 50 can drop paint on this D2. They're gonna get a shot in on the Snake 50. He's trying to wrap. Very slow game here. This is Jeff with a G for NSC over here in Dorito 2. They're in Snake 2 as well. Mirrored up in the bricks. West Coast Sharks has both corners. And 60 seconds, under 60 seconds here now to go. Little tactical retreat from the gateway back to the Snake corner here for the Sharks. Somebody's gonna need to take some initiative here, about 20 seconds. And coming down here, 5 seconds. Not gonna be enough time. Brad gonna try to make a move. Up the middle, they're gonna get clipped. That's gonna do it.
No points. No points. Good finish.
On the field, Puppin Suds home, James Gang away. On deck, Northwest Shooters, West Coast Sharks. In the hole, Asylum, NSC. Right, a super long point there, obviously going to time. So West Coast Sharks and NSC go to a game 3.
10 seconds.
Now up Puppin Suds on your left. James Gang on the right. And looked like James Gang sent a body wide. Can't see if they made it or not, as now Puppin Sud's gonna get into Dorito 1 out of the Dallas. And gonna fill out to the money, that stand-up wedge from the back center as well. James Gang has kind of that little cross I was talking about here, so you can see the brick looking D side, the stand-up wedge looking snake side. You can cut off the wide moves. Although, a little late here as Puppin Suds is already in the Doritos. And now that brick's just trying to contain and keep him in D1. Puppin Sud's gonna lose one off the snake side here. Still in D1. They do have a snake corner as well, so I would like to see the Dorito and the snake corner kind of work together to pinch out the James Gang snake corners. James Gang now gonna come kind of back and over to the Dallas. Able to keep Dorito a little more honest here as he's gonna get into D1 now. Doritos are all in a row, so you can control the tape. No more wrapping now, for free at least, for Pup and Suds. The back center gonna bust out to the Dallas here for Pup and Suds. I like that move. I want to try to get to the corner behind his Dorito player if he can. Help him control the tape. James Gang is definitely looking at that gap still from the brick. Both teams pretty content right now. They are getting a little wider, but more or less content to run their guns. Gonna be a bit of a who flinched first scenario right now. One thing the Doritos can kind of both do is actually make the highway move, because all you have to do is check off. Usually the Dallas. Up and Suds though actually gonna get into the snake, and they are tossing pods back from their brick to their back line. Interesting little double bump and go. I think he was the one that was out of paint. As Pup and Suds just gonna say F it and send it down the field here. They're gonna get chopped up and end up tagging up here with at least a James Gang body left alive. Ref checking him out closely here. Wow. Fire drill out of nowhere here from Pup and Suds. And Pup and Suds gonna take that one down. On the field, Northwest Shooters home, West Coast away. On deck, Asylum, NSC. In the hole, Pup and Suds, West Coast Sharks. Alrighty, Northwest Shooters on your left. West Coast Sharks on your right. Northwest Shooters up one game here. They were sending a body into the Dorito earlier. Looks like they've slowed that down. Gonna lose one out of the backfield though. Alright, sorry, I had to do a little scorekeeper confirmation there. Northwest Shooters here, up to the 40 brick. D1 though for West Coast Sharks. Still a back center for both teams. Both teams in the bricks, actually. And both teams in D1. All caught up now. Oh, and the ref in the backfield gonna throw a minor on the Dorito 1 there for the shooters and open up that whole D side of the field right now. Didn't hear if West Coast Sharks saw the penalty, but it is now the 40 brick and the snake corner, I think, is all that's left. And the 40 brick gonna make a bit of a tactical retreat here to the wedge. I mean, it's kind of the same, honestly. A little more flexible, I guess. As now West Coast gonna do a little crawly across the 50 into the mini W. Oh, he's gonna absolutely body check the 50 mini brick. Take it out. Get shot for his trouble, and now just the snake corner here. Fortunately looking at least 3 West Coast Sharks, and there he goes. Alright, I'm gonna have to have a ref go fix up that center brick. Didn't hold up to the body check. There's the tag.
Point approved. Game finished.
Field, Asylum home, NSC away. On deck, Puppin Suds, West Coast Sharks. In the hole, Northwest Shooters, Asylum. Alright, and this one probably going to be commentatorless. I need to run off for a moment. And it is just me up here for the time being. Shout out to our ref crew, doubling as the field crew over here, fixing up the center brick, doing some cleanup. I will be right back, but this is going to be Asylum home, NSC away.
20 seconds. 10 seconds. Point approved. Game finished.
And we're back. On the field, Pup & Suds home, West Coast away. On deck, Northwest Shooters Asylum in the hole, James Gang NSC. All right. Pup & Suds and West Coast getting set. Pup & Suds on your left, West Coast on the right. Gonna lose a body in the Dallas. All the way up to the Dorito here. I think West Coast not all the way set at the start there, unfortunately. And Pup & Suds screaming down the field here, just the back center left. It's gonna do it here. Pup & Suds. Walk this one in. On the
field, Northwest Shooters
home. Asylum A.
On deck, James Gang, NSC, in the hole, Pup & Suds Asylum.
On the field, Northwest Shooters home. Asylum away. Here we go. Shooters on the left. Asylum on your right. I'm gonna go all the way out. Dallas and D1 off the break. Gonna lose their D1 though shortly after. Asylum really challenging these teams to make their on the break shots. Now D2. Both teams still in the back center. Both teams in this D side wedge. Actually, Asylum not in the wedge. D3 though now. As D2 tries to make it and doesn't get there though, gets caught. Not quite quick enough on the counter move. And Asylum now in the driver's seat on this D side. Battling it out with this D side wedge here for the shooters. Asylum checking himself here, and the Dorito's still good. Oh, now gonna lose the battle against the wedge. Big win there for the Northwest shooters. Gonna absolutely kill the aggression from Asylum here. Is actually unless there's a Dorito corner, I don't see anybody left for Asylum. Fortunately, cannot see the D corner at all. They're shooting like there's one. But I don't see anything else. Shooters coming down the field here, 4 strong. That was it. Jazzy, the other one is on Facebook. Sorry, I don't have a link for you right now, but if you go to Facebook, the Doodlebug Sportz Outdoor Paintball Field Facebook, it is on the live there. Ref conference here for Northwest shooters. And looks like no point here. Gonna be a dirty hang, unfortunately. Needed to just take a minute. On the field, James Gang and NSC in the hole up in studs, Asylum. Sorry, excuse me, Asylum will be home. Asylum and Puffin Suds. And then on deck, James Gang. Yeah, so unfortunately no point there for shooters.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Here we go. James Gang, NSC. NSC gonna try to get into the gateway on the break. Doesn't get there. They're gonna bump out of the 40 brick into the mini W. And now the brick for James Gang gonna get pulled out. So 4 on 4 if I didn't miss anybody here. Running ref for NSC gonna pull out their Dallas. Now James Gang gonna lose their God, I believe, as NSC gets into the snake. Snake 2 here for NSC. I don't think anything gonna stop him hitting the 50. There he goes. Is back center, Dallas, and Money here as he's gonna wrap and get a great shot in on the back center there from James Gang. And NSC now firmly in the driver's seat. Coming over here to the James Gang side of the field. You can see he's past the 50 in the snake, just shot the Dallas. And it is just the body here and the wedge, and there he goes. Just absolutely cut up from the snake. Yeah, so active. And NSC gonna saunter in here. And point is approved.
Point approved. Game finished.
On the field, Asylum, Puppin Suds in the hole, James Gang, West Coast Sharks. On deck, NSC, Northwest, or excuse me, not NSC, Northwest Shooter. That one's. On deck, Northwest Shooters, Puppin Suds. Once again on the field, Asylum home, Puppin Suds away. Deck, James Gang, West Coast Sharks. Shooters and
Puppin Suds.
All right, here we go. Game 3, Asylum, Puppin Suds. Both teams going straight up to the brick. Puppin Suds getting caught on the way, though. Asylum gonna fill out B side. And Puppin Suds gonna bump up to the brick on the delay. Snake 2 though for Asylum here, as well as Dorito 1 taking advantage. Nobody in that brick for a little bit. That's gonna be on this brick player to make something happen on the D side. Both teams now Snake 2. Asylum gonna try to get on his feet and go to the 50. Gets chopped up. Now advantage on the snake side. Swinging to Puppin Suds. It's just such a fun team name, not gonna lie. There goes the wedge. Not even sure where he got shot from. That's the D1, the 40 brick, and I think Snake Corner or Asylum. Here's D1 out of the corner for Puppin Suds. They also have the brick in Snake 2. He's gonna go outside into D2. Nobody else looking his way besides the Dorito right now. Now the brick is gonna swap. As Asylum gonna be on their feet up to the Snake 2. Nobody picking him up. I think Puppin Suds was in the 50. I don't know where their snake body went, as Asylum gonna cross, trade out of the brick. And now the big clear out run after the Dorito got shot. I can't even keep track super accurately from up here, so I can only imagine how hard it is on the field. But Asylum gonna tag this one up here. On the field, James Gang home, West Coast Sharks away. On deck, Northwest Shooters, Puppin Suds in the hole, NSC, West Coast Sharks. Yeah.
Seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Alrighty, here we go. Game 3, James Gang. West Coast Sharks. Both teams pretty comfortable in the pocket here. Running ref gonna pull one for the Sharks on the Dorito side. James Gang gonna bump out to the Dallas now. Sharks try to fill the Dallas and get clipped again. James Gang absolutely dialed in on that lane, because they're gonna get out to Dorito 1 here. The third try for the Dallas gonna make it for the Sharks. And now the Sharks are in Dallas, Gateway, and the God. Now Snake 2 actually on a bit of a double bump there. Ref checking him out though. Didn't see stayed in or not, actually, sorry. The Dallas and the God. Oh no, and a minor penalty in the backfield here for James Gang. Gonna lose 2 on the D side, or excuse me, on the Snake side. Still, I think 3 alive for them. Yeah, Snake 2, D2, and the Dallas. West Coast Sharks now in D2, and the God, and Snake 2. So almost perfectly mirrored up here. No way. Dang. James Gang tried to make a tactical retreat over to the back center. Looks like he made it. Did not. Nope. Oh, and there goes the move. Gonna trade on the D side. So now, pretty sure it's a 1-on-1 in the Snake. Might be a 2-on-1. Nope, the God is still alive. Okay, the God just retreated back. So 2-on-1 here in favor of the Sharks. Ref bumped the. So it is now a 1-on-1. I think start station button got bumped. But play did not stop. It is now this D1 versus the Snake 50. Now the Dallas versus the Snake 50. Now the Wedge. The Snake 50 on the right side of your screen. Over a minute and 40 of game time right here. How things go. Oh, and James Gang gonna get caught crossing over. That is gonna do it. West Coast Sharks off some chaos gonna get this one. Alright, sorry about that. A little bit of timekeeper mess here since they accidentally tagged the start station. On the field, best shooters home, up and suds away. On deck, SC West Coast Sharks, the whole James Gang, Puppins. Here we go, shooters, Puppin Suds. Shooters going really heavy guns up, and you can see them still all the way standing back. Trying to get inside angles here. Pup and Sud's gonna be up to the 40 brick. Cutting down that Dorito side. Both teams in the Dallas, both teams. Oh no, actually just Pup and Sud's in the God. Northwest Shooter's actually in the Snake corner. And now out of the gateway and into Snake. Getting a little more Snake play as things move along today. I was just gonna say the brick for Pup and Suds needs to stay D side. Keep that Dallas there. Both teams so far have been making moves. Now the Snake for Pup and Suds. Yeah, if the brick is watching that D side, it's a huge gap to get through. And you can't really check him off for the move. But he does keep switching back. He needs to trust the people behind him for the Snake. Pup and Sud's gonna bounce out to the God now. Try to work his way out behind his Snake player. Both teams in the Dallas, both teams in the stand-up wedge. Both teams in Snake 2. Now big bite from the wedge all the way to D1. Makes it in clean and gets a shot on the Dallas and gets a shot. Somebody gets a shot on the wedge on the Shooter side. It's an absolute grenade going off. Actually, I thought the Dallas got shot, but actually I think bumped out to the corner. My bad. And he gets a shot on the Dorito, so not the disaster I thought it was for Northwest Shooters. As Shooters are now in both corners. And Snake 2, as well as the back center still. Pup and Suds are in Snake 2, Snake corner, and the 40 brick. Not much else out D side here. Shooters are in D1. A big coast to coast here from the brick all the way back to the Dorito corner. Sounds like he made it. Can't see the corner from where I'm sitting. And somebody gets a shot in on the Snake 2 for Northwest Shooters. This is madness. I can barely keep track. Now Dorito 1. Yeah, so he did make it to the corner clean on the coast to coast. Now he's in D1. Oh, and he gets the paint in on the Snake corner. 60 seconds here now. Snake corner once again out of the back center for the Shooter. Shooters are in D1 Snake corner as we just crossed 60 seconds left here. You can see the Snake player on his feet here. Now here they come down the middle. Got about 20 seconds left. Snake gonna get shot. Oh, and unfortunately he tries to make a sneaky move up the middle. It's caught. They do kill the Snake corner, and now the rundown. Gotta be careful about a penalty here. Very lucky to avoid the penalty there. Northwest Shooters gonna run this one in. barely any time left. On the field, NSC, West Coast Sharks. In the hole, James Gang, Puppin Suds. On deck, West Coast Sharks, Northwest Shooters. Alrighty, coming up here, NSC, West Coast Sharks.
20 seconds. Seconds.
Alrighty, NSC, West Coast Sharks here. Running ref gonna pull body here. As they try, West Coast Sharks try to get out of the triple back center. They lost their god at the same time. And NSC is now in Dorito 1 and Snake 2. And yeah, West Coast Sharks got clipped, I think potentially by his own player from the sound of it. 'Cause I heard it very loud ping off his tank. Now the back center gonna get peeled off here, and NSC gonna flood the field, and that should do her. On the field, James Gang home. Up in Suds. Hey. On deck, West Coast Sharks, Northwest Shooters. In the hole, NSC Asylum. On the field, James Gang home. Up in Suds away. Deck, West Coast Sharks. Shooters. The whole NSC Asylum. Alright, James Gang and Puppin Suds coming up here. A lot of deciding game threes here. Honestly, between doing scorekeeping and commentary, I'm not sure who's looking good. Besides, I know NSC had the least game threes, so that has to be good for them. Both teams heavy guns up here. James Gang gonna get out to the Dallas on the delay. See, doubled up still here in the back center. Tripled up, sorry. Triple back center. Shades of West Coast Sharks. As now James Gang gonna... Excuse me, now Pup and Sud's gonna filter out. There in the Dallas and the God. Mirrored up with James Gang. Both teams are in the brick as well. Nobody in the Dorito side wedge right now for Pup and Suds. As James Gang gonna lose their Dallas body. First to drop, I think. They're gonna refill from the wedge as the Snake corner gonna get into the Snake as they also get into Dorito 1. Nice double bump out to Dorito from Pup and Suds. They're gonna get into the mini Dorito on the Snake side as well. Snake 2 here for James Gang, as well as the 50 brick, which is mirrored up. D1, which is also mirrored. Currently, really the only field advantage is the Snake, who just crossed into the 50 for James Gang. Full screen here. Both teams kind of just hanging out right now. Intent to run their guns, gonna hope to get somebody. There goes the mini Dorito. Not a bunker you want to stay in very long. The Pup and Sud's gonna drop one here. It'll be 4-on-4. Both teams in the Dorito. Both teams in the brick. 50 Snake for James Gang. The God. I think for both teams still. Nope. Snake corner now for James Gang. Oh, the 50 getting shot out for James Gang now. There goes the Dorito, though, for Pup and Suds. People just getting chopped up out of their bunkers. Thought I just heard a hit. Must not have. Oh, and the Dorito tries to cross into D2 for James Gang. Straight into the waiting gun of Pup and Suds at that 40 brick. Now Pup and Sud's gonna come up to the Snake 2. And I think they're just dealing with this 40 brick right now, which unfortunately is near impossible. No, there was a Snake corner also, but the Snake corner can't protect the brick. So it's a really tough spot there. And Pup and Suds bring this one down as Dar the Man brings the Talking Rain energies, keeping us going up here. New branding from Talking Rain, the Aquamac. Shout out to Dar on Team Fury for the hookups. On the field, West Coast Sharks, Northwest Shooters. On deck, NSC, Asylum, in the hole, West Coast Sharks, up and Alrighty, coming up deciding game here. West Coast Sharks, Northwest Shooters.
20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Coming up the last 4 games of the prelims here. Just barely ahead of schedule. Gonna be important. West Coast Sharks, uncharacteristically only having 2 bodies in the back center. You can see them in the pocket here. Back center, the God, the Dallas, and the Brick. Coming over here for Northwest Shooters. Pretty similar, except they are in the gateway. Dorito 1 gonna make it out there for West Coast Sharks, and they're gonna get into the snake. So just absolutely daring the shooters to make their shots, and they both made it and clean. So expect a pretty quick snake 2 here from the Sharks. Now D2 for the Sharks as he has a body close behind him in the Dallas. Does he catch the Dorito runner for the shooters? He does not. Oh, and then immediately shoots the Shark out of the Dorito down the tape. Gonna make a huge bite up to the D3 as Sharks fill the D1. I don't know where the snake body went for the Sharks. Might just be laid down. Dorito 3 here putting a ton of paint. Crossfield on the 40 Brick as they slide, I think, into the gateway on the snake side. I think Sharks just did a nice little double bump into the snake and in the snake corner. Snake corner, though, gonna have some problems if this D3 decides to start dropping paint in on him. Right now, just plinking away at the 40 Brick, waiting for him to come back out. But I'm pretty sure if he sits up high, he can drop paint in on that snake corner. Sharks have gotten up to snake 2. They have snake corner, snake 2, and D1. Northwest Shooters, snake 2, Dorito 3, the God, and the wedge on the Dorito side we've been calling the money. So 4 on 4 right now. West Coast Sharks still in the Brick. Much for the Brick to do here, except for try to get something going with the Dorito. Nope. Dorito's just been posted up on that Brick, which is the smart move. If the Dorito goes to the tape, the Brick can come down, and nobody can really protect the Dorito there. 60 seconds just passed. The Dorito 1 now gonna get pinched out. Good work there from the snake and the Dorito here. And now the snake is absolutely gonna get caught sleeping, unfortunately, for the sharks. There goes the brick as well, and it's just the snake corner. Looking at least 3 bodies. That's gonna do her. Got 15 seconds there to figure out who's gonna tag. Point is approved. All right. Coming up here. On the field, NSC home, Asylum away. On deck, West Coast Sharks, Puppin Suds. In the hole, Asylum Shooters. Here we go. Big game 3 here. NSC and Asylum. NSC gonna go straight to the D corner. Makes it in clean. Heavy guns up otherwise, as now they're gonna make a move in the secondary up to the 40 brick. Asylum pretty firmly in the pocket here. They may have lost one on the break that I missed. No, they made snake corner. Okay, and now into the snake. NSC, though, is in Dorito 2 here now. As Asylum gonna double bump out to the wedge, and the God, they're gonna lose their wedge runner, though. Now Brad all the way up here to D3. Want to give another shout out to Brad for sponsoring move of the event for D4 and D5. $100 prize. Going out to the biggest move of the event. Being sponsored as he's going to get a shot in on the brick here. Being sponsored by MacGyver for Hire Gutter Services. Dallas, yeah, the Dallas gonna take a walk here now. As NSC gonna clear the field off. And that's gonna do it. Once again, MacGyver for Hire Gutter Services. If you need gutter repair, new gutter fabrication, gutter cleaning. Oh, there's a sneaky snake corner. There he goes. But yeah, once again, MacGyver for Hire, your guy for all your gutter needs. check them out on Instagram. And some incredibly solid Google reviews. Being extra sure here. On the field, West Coast Sharks, Puppin Suds. On deck, Asylum, Northwest Shooters. We're going to be going into the elimination rounds right after this. So if you think you're going to make it, be ready. Oh, sorry about that. Lost one of our cameras here. Get that up as soon as we can. For now, though. Oh, there's back. It is back. West Coast Sharks gonna lose one here off the D side while I was distracted by the camera. Puppin Suds kind of stealing their mojo with a triple back center. Did get a kill, but then let a fill into the Dallas happen. .40 brick is hot, as well as I think the snake corner for West Coast Sharks. Both teams in the brick, excuse me. Now the wedge here for Puppin Suds. Puppin Suds hitting the snake here. Made it in clean. I'm not sure. I think he stopped at snake 1, which makes sense to me. I don't think he can do much about the Dallas. Snake 2 here. Excuse me, snake also for the West Coast Sharks. Gonna keep things mirrored up. Both teams in the snake, both teams in the brick. Dorito 1 here, though, for Puppin Suds. Potentially the difference maker. Running ref coming in to check the brick. He's clean. Now the outside move here from the Doritos for Puppin Suds. Back center gonna bump out to the money. Makes it in clean. Kind of surprised with the Dorito looking that way. Oh, and they're gonna let the Dallas fill out to the Doritos. Too many guns looking snake side here. As I don't think you can quite see it in that big shadow, but the West Coast Sharks player in the 40 brick was just like kind of half his body sticking out of the brick trying to get a shot in on the Doritos. Can't see him because of that pin. The Dorito's gonna lose his fight down the tape. And Dallas might have got snuck one here. Down again, sorry. I think just Dorito corner here, and the 40 brick now for the Sharks, as here comes, oh, the slide. He's gonna yard sale after he gets shot, but I think, I'm not sure if he shot him, because he core sampled a bit there, but not gonna matter, plenty of bodies to run down the field. Alright. And the point is good for Pup and Suds. After quite a lot of back and forth. Alright, on the field, Asylum home, Northwest Shooters away. The last game of the prelims, and then we're going to try to go straight into the finals, so ready. Asylum on the field, Asylum home. Yeah, there was a nope. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, Asylum didn't realize they had another game. But shooter.
We're giving Asylum an extra minute here. They thought they were done. So just 1 sec. Asylum, hustle up. Thank you.
Act. Thanks, you. Alright, just giving Asylum 1 more minute here.
Asylum to the field, please. Asylum to the field. Let's go.
Alrighty, here we go. Last game of the prelims, Asylum and Northwest Shooters.
20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Asylum gonna get straight up to the brick. Looking snake side, and they do get a shot on one of the Northwest Shooters. They also got into D1. They lose one out of the back center, though, so 4-on-4 right now. Northwest Shooters gonna get into D1 as well, running past the gun from the back center. Northwest Shooters and Snake 2 here as they get straight into D3. Loving this aggression here from both teams. Big lanes be damned. Snake 2, Dorito 3 here for Northwest Shooters. 40 brick, Dorito 1 for Asylum. And they're going to lose their body in the God here. It's a tough spot to stay alive in with the D3. Asylum now down to D1. The brick. And the Dallas. There goes the brick. Just as soon as he switched inside, this D3 was ready for him. Slowed down a bit here as the back center and the D1 trying to hold for Asylum. Northwest Shooters trying to figure out how to dig these guys out here. There goes the D1. And now just the back center, which unfortunately has far too many blind spots. He's gonna get pinched out there. That's gonna do it. All right, there's going to be a short break while we get the matchmaking set up for the finals. Field 1 is staying live field. Field 1 is staying live field. And Field 2, you guys need to have goggles on still while Field 1 is live. Gotta get 5. All right, just a little break ski here while we get set up for the finals. Okay. I don't. Third game. All right, once again, just getting set up for the finals here. Should be ready pretty soon here. Hitting the finals. I'll let you know who made the cut. It'd be a cut, I think, to the top 4. We're gonna go straight to semis. Cut to 4. I think we're doing it all on this. All right. Here we go. All righty. On the field, going to be Lost Boys home versus Unforgiven. On deck, Northwest Shooters and Asylum. And then Unforgiven and Lost Boys will be back up again. Once again, on the field, Lost Boys home, Unforgiven away. On deck, Northwest Shooters and Asylum. All right, once again, to the field, Lost Boys home, Unforgiven away. Field 1, Lost Boys home, Unforgiven away. On deck, Northwest Shooters and Asylum. Lost Boys, Unforgiven away. Alright, just waiting on Unforgiven to get set up here. And we will be ready to go. So teams that advanced are Lost Boys, Unforgiven, Northwest Shooters, Asylum, NSC, and Fury. Yeah. Unforgiven. On the field. Unforgiven. You are on the field. On the away. Trying to find where Unforgiven is.
Unforgiven to the field. Unforgiven to the field. You are on away.
Hey.
Is Unforgiven, are you guys moving your stuff right now? Okay.
Hey, Asylum and Northwest.
Shooters, are
Guys
you
ready?
Hey, Northwest Shooters, are you guys ready? Can you come confirm? Yeah. Okay, so, sorry, Lost Boys, come off. We're gonna start the second game because Unforgiven was not moved yet. Thank you for being ready, Lost Boys. Appreciate you. Okay, so Northwest Shooters on the field, home, Asylum away.
Yeah, he's...
Northwest Shooters home, Asylum away. Thank you all for being ready. Seconds. Seconds. 10 seconds.
One Dorito runner!
Alrighty, so we skipped ahead here to Shooters and Asylum. Asylum gonna bust out to the snake corner. He initially made it clean and then got pulled out of there. And they lost, I believe, their Dorito side runner here as well. So trying to get aggressive. Northwest Shooters were ready for it as they're gonna get into the snake now. Asylum in the back center, the Dallas and the Snake side, or excuse me, D side stand up wedge, so all D side. Another body coming off here from Asylum. Potentially just the back center here. I think, yeah, okay, I'm hearing the call for home only here from the shooters, so they have picked that up. There goes the back center. And that is Doer. Do some. Look over your friends, make sure they're clean action. And point is good.
On the field, Lost Boys home, Unforgiven away. On deck, Asylum home, Northwest Shooters away. So you're turning over quick, try to get ready as fast as you can. Seconds.
Here we go. Haven't seen these teams on the webcast yet. Lost Boys on your left. Unforgiven on the right. Two teams play each other pretty much every weekend here at DBS. Looks like both teams going pretty heavy in the pocket. Unforgiven, though, going to the mini Dorito on the Snake side. I think only the second time we've seen that played today. Both teams made it out clean. Ref checking that mini Dorito out, though. Gonna leave him in there. So Unforgiven now gonna break out. Looking to break out of there. There they go to the gateway, and they're gonna go back center all the way out to the Snake corner. Gonna make it, and they're gonna go up to the brick now. Quite a lot of development here out of Unforgiven. Lost Boys gonna mirror them up in the brick. And Unforgiven gonna get shot out of the stand-up wedge, and the Dallas absolutely getting chewed up. D side all of a sudden. Now they're gonna cross the 50. Doesn't get picked up. Gets one, gets two, three. Gonna be maybe move of the event here so far. Out of Unforgiven. Didn't see who that player was. Okay, it was Ryan Meir. That makes a lot of sense. Alright, so Unforgiven blowing the game open off of a great move up the middle from Ryan. E2 here now for Unforgiven. Oh, and Unforgiven gonna get a minor on the backfield. Potentially not gonna matter here as they trade out with the last Lost Boy. And I'm not sure if they have a body left.
No points. No points. Game finished. Alrighty, on the field, Asylum home, Northwest Shooters away. Looks like you guys are on it. Thank you. Unforgiven and Lost Boys get turned over. You'll be back up next.
Alrighty, so that was a no point for Lost Boys and Unforgiven. The minor penalty and then the trade taking out the last bodies on the field. So they're going to have 2 more games here.
30 seconds.
Here we go, Asylum and Northwest Shooters. Northwest Shooters looking to close this one out here. Alrighty, triple guns up here. They're gonna filter out to this can for Asylum. Coming off their previous pretty aggressive breakouts. Ref coming in to check for Northwest Shooters in the Dallas. Looks like he's staying in. Running ref now checking the snake corner. Gonna pull him out for Asylum. So Asylum gonna be the first to drop a body here. Both teams in the wedge on the D side. Both teams still in the back center. Nope, as Asylum now gonna bump out to the Dallas. Neither team in the brick up the middle this time. Both teams in the gateway though. Gonna lose the Dallas though for Asylum. And here goes Shooters, gonna get straight into D2. Asylum gonna match him up. Smart move there after missing the shot. They're gonna drop Paint in on the snake corner for Asylum. So now Asylum down to just the D1. And I don't see their other body right now. Potentially just the D1. Oh, in the gateway. I think that, yeah, still the gateway, okay. D1 and gateway, all that's left here for Asylum. Looking at D1, 40 brick. The gateway gets peeled off. And now just the D1, looking at least 3 bodies here from the Shooters. There he goes, I think. Thought he put his gun up. Yeah, there he goes. All right. Shooter's gonna walk this one in. Solid 4 alive right now. All right, point is approved. All right, so Shooter's going to go 2-0 here over Asylum.
On the field, Unforgiven home, Lost Boys away.
Hey.
And then
After this
point, you guys will give you 2 minutes to turn over and get back
out here.
okay? seconds.
Alrighty, here we go. Unforgiven, home. Lost Boys away. Nate Schrader in the booth, but we don't have a microphone for him, so he's just sitting up here. Here we go. Game 1 was a no point. Unforgiven run and gunned out to the Dorito corner. Running ref doesn't pull anybody here as Lost Boys going to get into D1 now. 2 bodies, though, walking off for Unforgiven off the Dorito side. They lost that Dorito corner pretty quickly and then subsequently lost somebody trying to fill out, and now the desperation fill not going to make it into the corner. Too big of a bite there. Lost Boys up 5-2 body count. There's just the God and the 40 brick here left. See the last 2 bodies here for Unforgiven. Kyle Topness over here for the Lost Boys. And Dorito 3 doing some work. Should be trying to pinch out the God, which is a very small bunker to try to live through. Yeah, and Unforgiven are going to try to get out to the mini W. Not going to work for him. And there's the last body coming off for Unforgiven. So Lost Boys going to get checked out here. Kyle getting checked by the ref. Point is approved. Alright, as soon as you guys are ready, Lost Boys home, Unforgiven away. I can't go back. Alrighty, deciding game 3 here for Lost Boys and Unforgiven. Game 1 was a no point. I do not know what the time remaining was on that last point. It was a longer one. But Unforgiven does need to win faster than the Lost Boys did. It will come down to a tiebreaker on time. Alrighty, so once again, Unforgiven needs to win this one and needs to win it faster than the Lost Boys did. I think it was about 2.5 minutes. I didn't get the exact time, so sorry about that. But nonetheless, Unforgiven gonna have to be in the driver's seat here. Lost Boys need to just hold. They will, of course, take a win. Field can definitely slow down, so.
30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Alrighty, here we go. Lost Boys on your left. Unforgiven on the right. Oh, sorry about that. Had to confirm a score there, but back out here. Unforgiven on your right. Lost Boys on your left. Unforgiven needs to win this and needs to win faster than the Lost Boys won. Lost Boys going to be the first trying to do the Doritos. Don't make it. They're going to fill out to the Dallas now from the wedge. Still doubled up in the back center as they lose the God. I think. Yeah, they did lose their body. No, they did not. He got out to the corner. Okay. So 4 bodies still here for the Lost Boys. Unforgiven. Still 1 in the back center. They're in the 40 brick. They weren't in the snake. And they might have a Dorito corner. I cannot see right now. But Unforgiven gonna have to make some moves here. Lost Boys got into D1 out of Dallas. The best choice here really for Unforgiven is to have their body in the 40 brick come up the middle. You're gonna have to get a shot on the Dorito. Oh, there goes body though, out of the money for Unforgiven, as they are just not gonna have the pressure here. Lost Boys in Dorito 3. And just pounding paint on the crossfield shots here. He's gonna cross the 50. They were waiting for him in the brick. Ref gonna check out the brick. Looks like they got him clean, but I think Unforgiven's gonna be running out of time here. On the back center for the Lost Boys. Unforgiven still in the back center as well. Coming up to the wedge now. They're also in the 40. Brick. But just running out of time here, unfortunately. I think Lost Boys bounced out to Dorito corner. Can't quite see. I know they have snake corner. Yeah, they did have Dorito corner. Now he's going to come up to D1. And just not enough time here. I'm sure Unforgiven going to be out of time. They do shoot the snake corner. 60 seconds now. Dorito 2 here now for the Lost Boys. Keeping the pressure on. Nope, does not get a shot in on the brick, who was kind of hanging out in no man's land for a moment. Now he's going to come up the middle to this pin. Finally get some paint in on the Lost Boys. We're going to have about 30 seconds to run this in, but I think it is too little too late. And point is approved. All right.
Game finished. I will let you know that the pairings are proceeding with him here for the semis.
Alrighty, here we go. Semifinals coming up. NSC Lost Boys, Fury, Northwest Shooters.
On the field, NSC home, Lost Boys away. On deck, Fury and Northwest Shooters. Once again on the field,
SC.
NSC home,
Lost Boys,
away.
hey.
On
Heck,
deck, Fury, Northwest Shooters.
Alrighty, gonna be NSC and the Lost Boys. And then Fury and the Northwest Shooters. field. SC home. Lost Boys away. SC home. Lost Boys away. Heck, Fury and Best Shooter. Giving teams just a little bit longer here. Get on the field. SC home. Possible.
Away on deck. Fury and Northwest Shooters. Alrighty, here we go. NSC and the Lost Boys. First time teams are seeing each other this event. Both teams pretty content to stay in the pocket. NSC going to be the first to lose one. Good shot. Looked like on the inside. Either from a bounce shot or by the God, I think. Maybe the back center. Lost Boys now going to come up to the brick and be mirrored up with NSC there. NSC still doubled up in the back center. Down one body here. Here comes one off the Lost Boys, though. Going to even it up. Losing their snake side. Actually, they lost their brick. NSC now going to lose one out of the back center, though. 4-on-3 here now in favor of the Lost Boys as they're going to fill from the back center all the way to D1. He makes it in clean. So NSC dropping that lane from the brick, unfortunately. Now, yeah, the brick going to die on the wrap from D1. Now it's D2. Back center going to take a walk as well. Now just the Dallas here. I think just Dallas and maybe the Snake. Yeah, Snake 2 and Dallas. All that's left here for NSC. Looking at 4 Lost Boys. And they are going to get into D1. Oh, and he's going to get a drop in on the Dorito body there from the Lost Boys. Now the Lost Boys going to do a little tactical retreat back to the D-side wedge. Ref pulling a body here. Sideline wants a flag. They don't get it. You can see the Lost Boys here, back center, and the God. D3 here now. Woodward here. I think for NSC. And they're streaming down the Snake side, and that's going to do it.
So NSC gonna come back from a 2-on-4 and win this one. Assuming the point is approved. Point is good. All right, so big comeback there for NSC. Gonna go 1-0 so far over the Lost Boys. Field Fury home. West Shooters away. We're gonna be going straight into D5 after this. Be ready for that action.
On deck, NSC home, Lost Boys away. Seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Alrighty, here we go. Another first time on this stream. Fury on your left. Shooters on your right. Both teams pretty standard breakout here. Ref coming in to check out a body on the shooter side, leaves him in. Shooters are in the gateway. Most advanced for either team right now. Gonna get mirrored up now. Oh, didn't make it. The Fury tried to match here. Couldn't get in clean. Fury is in the 40 brick though. Current move of the event gonna be on Ryan Muir from Unforgiven. Move of the event sponsored by MacGyver for Hire Gutter Services. Check them out for all of your gutter related needs. New gutters, gutter repairs, gutter cleaning. Brad is your guy, MacGyver for Hire. Alright, game kind of slowed down here, both teams. In the wedge on the D side. Fury up a body. In the brick. Oh, and they're gonna lose Greg. I think that was Greg out of the brick here and gonna even up the body count. You can see back here, Northwest Shooters still pretty firmly in the pocket. Snake Corner gonna take a walk here now for Fury. Just dying out of their spots. Shooters living up to their name right now, winning these gunfights. The back center. I think it is just potentially just the back center and the wedge here for Fury left. Unless I missed one on the D side. There goes the back center. They're gonna tactical retreat back to the 2. Try to get a drop here. Can't dodge that one. There goes the last Fury body. Shooter's gonna be able to run this one in, assuming a clean hang.
the field,
Lost
Lost
Boy.
Boys home, NSC
Hey.
away.
Alrighty, Lost Boys NSC coming up here for game 2. NSC up 1 here. Disregard the score.
Seconds.
Alright, here we go. Lost Boys on your left, NSC on the right. Like 5 alive for both teams. Pretty similar breakouts, except once again, this time NSC trying. NSC trying for the mini the mini brick here. Alright, sorry about that. Had a little internet blip. I think we are all back up though. There we go. Both teams in D1 here. NSC gonna lose. Looks like losing their snake body. Both teams in this wedge. Like just one body off the field so far. For Lost Boys, they're in D1, D-side wedge, back center. And snake corner, there we go. There's the fourth. NSC is in the mini Dorito, still there. Also D1. D-side wedge and snake 2. 4 on 4 here right now. Slight field advantage for NSC as the back center gonna fill to the brick. I think Lost Boys lost their Dorito though. Gonna be pretty bad for them here, as now nothing to keep the NSC honest. Oh, here they go. They're going to actually fill out from the wedge to D2. Stays on his feet. Now both teams in D2, both teams in the 40 bricks. Snake 2 for NSC, snake corner for Lost Boys. Snake corner going to drop and the 40 brick at the same time here. Oh, big counter move, though, from the Lost Boys. Going to catch at least one. I think that was the last body for them. The 2 bodies left here for NSC. Gonna run this in 2-0. Point approved. All right.
Point approved. Game finished. On the field, Northwest Shooters home, Fury away.
Alrighty, so NSC gonna 2-0 the Lost Boys here. Shout out to the Lost Boys. Getting to 4th. Well, they'll still play for 3rd, 4th, I think. So getting to the top 4 once again. Pretty consistent here from them at the end of the season. Here we go. Shooters on your left, Fury on your right. Shooters up 1-0 in the match score right now. Both teams once again pretty heavy in the pocket. Fury be the first one up to the brick. Looking snake side though. And then they have their D side wedge looking Dorito side. They need to switch those out. Alright, Fury gonna beat feet out here to D1. Makes it clean across at least 2 guns. Kind of why you want to have that brick. A much bigger view of that lane. No counter move here yet from the shooter. Still pretty content to sit in the pocket here. They are in the gateway. Now they're gonna make their move into D1. The brick was looking that way. It must not have had his shot lined up. So both teams D1 here. Both teams Dorito side wedge. Both teams in the gateway. Both teams still in the back center. We're now gonna come over to the God. Tie this up here. Force a game 3.
Game finish.